56 Brilliant Woodworking Tips for Beginners, P2. 11. Easy odd width measuring. How do you divide 11 to 3/8 of an inch? Or any other mathematically difficult number, into equal parts without dividing fractions? Simple. Angle your measuring tape across the workpiece until it reads an easily divisible dimension and make your marks with the tape angled. For example, say you want to divide an 11 to 3/8 of an inch. Board into 3 equal parts. Angle the tape until it reads 12-inch, and then make marks at 4 and 8. 12. Safety when cutting small parts. Recently I needed to cut some small furniture legs on my miter saw. With their irregular shape, they were impossible to hold safely, so I attached each leg to a scrap 2x2 with a dowel screw. These assemblies stayed straight and kept my hands far from the blade. David Alexander. 13. Improvise T-bevel. Not long ago, I needed to make some angled wood parts to build a new soffit on my garage. I didn't have the customary tool for the job, but I had some steel joining plates. I screwed through one of the holes in the plate, set my angle, then added another screw to lock the angle. I could then use it as a template to mark all the pieces at the same angle and cut them with my circular saw. Ryan Barch. 14. Bifold workbench. Old doors laid across sawhorses make great temporary workbenches, but they take up a lot of space when you're not using them. Instead of full-size doors, I use bifold doors with hinges so I can fold them up when I'm done working. They're also easier to haul around in the pickup for on-the-road jobs. Harry Steele. 15. What is quarter-sawn lumber? A board is considered quarter-sawn when the growth rings run, more or less, perpendicular to the face of the board. Quarter-sawn boards generally have straight grain and are less prone to shrinkage, compared to other boards. These factors don't come into play with the 2x4s you use to frame a closet, but it does with the shelves and cabinetry you put into that closet. You want those boards to remain straight, flat and stable. Some quarter-sawn boards, especially those of white oak, exhibit gorgeous rays or flecks, a hallmark of much craftsman-style furniture. Because of their stability and beauty, quarter-sawn boards are often actively sought out by woodworkers, meaning they may also come with a heftier price tag. 16. On-hand sandpaper cutter. Cutting sandpaper is a quick way to dull your scissors or utility knife blade. Instead, I fastened a hacksaw blade to the edge of my workbench. I slipped a washer behind the blade at each of the mounting holes so a sheet of sandpaper to easily slides in behind the blade. I fold the paper where I want to cut, just as a reference. Kim Bowley. 17. Make your own table saw fence. This self-clamping table saw fence takes only seconds to put on and lets you crank the blade into the fence to create both angled cuts along board edges and extremely thin rip or rabbet cuts. With a hand or jigsaw, cut pieces from a 1x4, making the inside width of the L a hair under the thickness of your saw's fence. Drill 5/16 of an inch. Holes in the L blocks and plywood fence and join them with 2 1/4 of an inch. X 3-inch. Countersunk machine screws, washers and wing nuts. As always, use extra caution when you're sawing without a blade guard. Our thanks for this new sawing angle to professional furniture maker George Von Driska. 18. That glue is still good. I recently wrote to the Borden Company, asking what to do when their Elmer's wood glue gets too thick to use. They wrote me back and suggested mixing in a drop or two of vinegar. It sounded like an old wives' tale, but I tried it and found it really works. 19. Brilliant miter saw stop. I use binder clips for a lot of things around the shop, and here's one that I thought I'd share. When I need to make multiple cuts all the same length, I just clamp my jumbo binder clip to my fence and use a 1/4 of an inch thick wood scrap pinched in the clip as a stop. Works like a charm. When it's not in use, I clamp it to the cord so it's always nearby. John Mucho. 20. Align angles with tape. Clamping mitered edges can be a real hassle because they never seems to line up correctly. The easiest way that I've found to get around this process is to use painter's tape as clamps. First, set the pieces so that the outer edges are facing up and tape them edge to edge. Then flip the pieces over so the beveled edges are facing up and glue them together. Complete the process by taping the last 2 edges together and let sit until completed. The tape removes easily and the glue won't attach to the tape, making sanding and finishing very simple. Let me know what do you think. Looking forward to your comments.